Hi everyone, my name's Electric Donkey, and today we're back doing the No Man's Sky project type thing we got going. So in the last video, if you remember, we basically went over how to save our worlds, but we never actually implemented that into the game. So that's what we're going to be doing in this video. So I've decided to do it ever so slightly different, because I've had a look at it and decided that basically to make sure that each save file is matching up to each right planet, we're going to have to do something slightly different, and the way we're going to do that is make rooms, not physically ourselves make rooms, but make the game make a room every time we want to go down to a new planet. So that's kind of a different way of doing it, I guess. And how we're going to do this is inside the object player, press R key, we've got going here, we're going to, in fact, not press R key, never mind. I meant the planets, when you click on the planet to beam down to the planet. So instead of going to here, we want to make a new room if it doesn't already exist, or if it does exist, then we want to beam down to that planet. So to start with, we kind of need to keep a running total of how many planets we've actually came to so far. So to do this, we're going to add a step event into here. Another thing I'd like to say is performance was the main thing I'm trying to focus on. Having extra rooms won't actually affect the performance. Having extra objects would. So we're still going to stick to these 4 objects, but we're just going to add extra rooms, which won't slow the performance. So in the step event, we need some code. Now, what we want to do is we want to add one to every time we beam down to the planet. Do we want to have this in the step event? Actually, we might not do. Let's make a variable quickly and create events. So let's do a global.count equals, I'm going to say it equals 0 at the moment. So when we actually beam down to the planet, we want to add one to the count. So global.count plus equals 1. Okay. Now this is the tricky bit, because we'll comment this out for the moment, and that'll go right down at the bottom, so that'll be the last thing we do. But in here we need to make a new room, so make a new room. Now how we're going to do this is we're going to, what we're going to call it, we need a name, don't we? So we're going to call it, well, we want RM planet, and then I'm not quite sure if this is meant to be in speech marks or not, we'll have to see. And then we want to add the string global.count. So this will effectively have our room planet plus which number planet it is that we've been to, and we're going to be equal, and this is going to be room add, open close brackets, assignment operator. Do we need anything there? See, I've been coding some other languages, there we go, at the moment, so that's not something I was quite familiar with. But anyway, there we go. So now we want to set some variables. So room set height, and we need rm planet underscore plus string global.count. Oh yeah, and we need another variable which is going to be our room size, which I don't think actually matters, but we're going to just stick that as 720. I don't even know if that's right. Room, and we need another one. We can literally just copy this, and we're just going to change that to width. Right, that's basically it now. But then finally, right at the end, we need to beam down to this actual planet. So it needs to be room equals room planet, and it needs to be the room planet. How are we going to do this now then? Because that won't work, I don't think. I don't know, maybe it will. String global dot count. Okay, let's give that a go really quickly. At the moment, global dot count it will go up every single time, and every single time we'll add a new room as well, which isn't exactly what we want. But for the time being, we'll just test that works, because a lot of that code I've just came up with on the spot. So I'm not quite sure if those adds will work or not. If the strings will clash with anything. We'll just have to give it a go. That's all we can do. So once this boots up, we should be able to test. Basically, an effective test would mean that we beam down and everything went alright. Okay, cannot set a constant to a value. So constant. Right, let's see how we could work around that. So in the beam down to planet, room planet plus string. How can we make a workaround for this? My thinking is maybe using an array would be the best way around. But I'm not sure. So maybe for the time being we'll try and do it the way we were planning to start with, which was to keep track of which planet it is. So I guess the way we could do this is to keep track of the instance number. So if we have, let's just try that. So show debug message, and this will be more efficient as well. So if this works, then that will be even better. Instance ID. Okay. So in theory, when we're in the actual room, we should have two instance IDs. So we could effectively use them and save them into the files so that we know which instance is being clicked on, so which planet. So let's see. Okay, they're all -4. So the instance ID in this case appears to be for the whole of the object, which isn't helpful whatsoever. So trying to think how we could make a workaround for this. We need to make something that when we beam down to the planet, it will remember which planet we've beamed down to. So how about we do the X and Y instead? How about we use that? Because the X will be different for each one and the Y will be different for each one, so for each planet. So we could effectively maybe take the X and the Y, add them together, and that will give us a unique ID, our own ID for each instance. It'd be a bit of a workaround, and to be honest, it's not the most direct way of doing it. But if it works, then that's fine. Yes, that would work. So, okay, let's do that, and then let's give that a go whilst we've got the time. So let's just get rid of that code there. So how do we want to do this? We'll take the... When are we going to set it though? That's the problem. I guess when we click it. Okay, when we click it. So we don't need that anymore. Oh dear, we need that. So we don't need that line there, and we don't need this line here. So we'll change this to room planet 1. Okay. But up here we need to set our unique ID thing. So let's make a this grid. Actually, we'll do an array. That'd be quicker. So ID, actually IDD 0. If IDD D, actually, yeah, let's do this grid. Actually, so right up here, we might have to move this later. We'll call it planets equals ds grid create, and we want a width and a height. So for the time being, we'll just say a height of. I am using a list actually. I'm effectively using a list. I don't need to be using a grid, but I'm going to use it anyway. So DS grid clear, because I'm a lot more familiar with DS grids. And we need to set them all to 0. Alright, and then just before we do that, we need to go into our player. Nope, not player. Object Worgen, game end. We need to add another DS grid to this. This needs to be planets with an S. Now, if we go back into the planets and back into this step, right? So now we go into the left button. Okay. So now we'll say if planets. Actually, we want a for loop here. I'd keep changing my mind here. Sorry, guys. I need var I equals 0. Gonna have to end this soon as well. I is less than 10 I plus plus. If planets I equals 0, then we're going to save it into that slot. So now this is the bit where it gets a little bit fancy. So planets I is going to equal, I'm going to say it's going to be x or string x plus string y. Okay, now just to clear up, we'll just do a show debug message to check that's been working, and that'll be that. Alright, now let's give that a go. So effectively this won't actually do anything at the moment, but it will set us up for the future, because now each planet's got an ID, so we can save that ID into the save file, so we know when we click on that one of that ID to load up that file. So this will be really quite awesome if this works. So let's try this planet. Right. So trying to index. Hang on a minute. I forgot. We're not using an array, are we? We're using a DS grid. So this needs to be. It's going left button. This right here. This needs to be 0. That needs to be 0. Okay, now let's give that a go. So, yeah, when we click on that planet, it should generate our little code, which will be the X plus the Y. Nothing else, none other planets will have that code, because that code will be unique to that position. Alright, so if this works, that'll be pretty awesome, because we've then made our own unique ID. Right, once again, trying to index a variable which is not an array. Hang on a minute, what's wrong with that then? If planets 0 I equals 0, there is nothing wrong there. Right, I'm really pushing the time here, so I'm gonna have to end this at some point. But planets. Did I set it as a global? Is that what's wrong? No, planets DS grid create. This is meant to be 0. No, wait, no, that's not meant to be 0. So that's all fine. 0 I equals. Something is wrong here apparently. That's trying to index a variable which is not an array. If planets 0 I equals 0. And we have set it here, so planets equals DS grid create, DS grid clear, planets 0. This is really quite, it's got me puzzled, this has. Let's try and just set that to 1 and just see if that works. Or another way of doing it is saying DS grid what's it called? DS grid value. DS grid get. Let's do it that way. Oh, I know what we've done. Silly me. We forgot our accessor. Very important. We need a hashtag there, and we also need a hashtag there. Otherwise, we're trying to access this array or variable. We're not accessing a DS grid without putting that accessor in. And that's what was throwing it off. I've been coding in Python a lot recently, and that's, you don't need any accessors there, and that's completely thrown me off there. Sorry guys. Right, now this should work, or come up with a different error or something of the sort. Ah, there we go. There's our unique code, and that is absolutely perfect because now we can use that code in the future. So sorry guys, this, oh dear. Ah, right, we'll sort that really quickly. So we're just going to planets. No, not planets, sorry. World gen. Game end. And this needs to be object. Not object planets. Object planets. Dot planets. And now that should work. Alright guys, that's been a really long video. It's going on 15 minutes now. But we've got some forward progress. In the next video, I promise we'll clear this up and we'll get this finished. But for now guys, that's going to be it. If you like this video, remember to like, subscribe, and drop a comment below, because after I've done this little segment on saving, I've not got that much planned. So if you want me to do something in particular, go ahead and comment it, and I will read it. So anyway guys, that'll be it. I'll talk to you later.